Hello, and welcome to episode 1 of Rachel's Reenactments. Yeah! I'll get a better theme song later. So anyway, our first episode deals with my assigned Canterbury tale, The Man of the Law's Tale. So, I'll turn you over to this guy. Thank you, Rachel. I will now commence my tale, which, I must admit, is a rather humble one compared to Chaucer's. He is the greatest poet that ever lived, and he has told every story. I cannot imagine— Wait a minute, wasn't this whole book written by Chaucer? I mean, it's kind of boastful to, sing his praises if you're a character in his own book. Well, continue. I will, then. Well, we begin with a merchant from Syria, who, upon returning to his country from a voyage to Rome, came to see the Sultan. Hey, Sultan, we just got back from our voyage to Rome. Well, I can see that, but what have you found? Well, gold, silver, riches beyond your wildest imagination, but mostly, we found this hot chick in Rome named Constance. She's the emperor's daughter. Really hot, really sweet, really religious. She's perfect. I must marry her immediately. But how are you going to do that? She's a Christian. You're a Muslim. It's never going to work out. Then I shall convert my entire kingdom to Christianity! So the emperor of Rome gave the Sultan permission to marry his daughter. Meanwhile, Constance, distraught, wept, knowing that she would have to marry some weird guy that she had never met. I have to marry some weird guy that I've never met! But, being a good, dutiful, obedient Christian girl, she swallowed her tears and went off to marry the Sultan. Meanwhile, the Sultaness, the Sultan's mother, was not happy about the proceeding. I refuse to let my son convert our nation to Christianity, and worse, marry a Christian girl. I have a plan. We shall pretend to convert to Christianity, but in reality we will have Allah in our hearts, and with that we will attack them. And so the Sultaness, good to her word, massacred the entire wedding, killing every Christian that she saw. But God had favored Constance, for he saved her. Somehow the Sultaness did not see her, and instead she fled across the ocean, being patient and brave as she spent many years sailing about, lost. I've been sailing on this boat for 5 years, just get me off! But finally, after drifting through the ocean aimlessly for years, she landed on the shores of Northumberland, an island of pagans. Hey, you need a little help there, Missy? Yes, please. I've been sailing across the ocean for years, and I finally found refuge here. May I stay here? Well, sure, I wouldn't be a good pagan if I didn't help my fellow man. Oh, and could you do me a favor and convert to Christianity? Okay. And Constance soon became a town favorite among the pagans, who soon became Christians. She also made friends with the queen and her husband, King Allah. Wait, my name's seriously Allah? Yes. What's wrong with that? You seriously don't see any reason why that doesn't make a lot of sense? No, I don't. And anyway, I didn't write the story. A merchant told it to me a while ago. He said it was about the ills of poverty or something. And anyway, you're not an important character yet, so check your privilege. Now back to the story. There was a knight who also liked Constance, but in a rather different way. Constance, you're fine. I want to get with you if you know what I mean. Well, that's just too bad, because I am a good Christian woman and I am saving myself for marriage. Well, fine then. You're not that hot anyway. But the knight was still angry and vengeful, and the devil told him to sneak into the queen's room that night and murder her, but frame Constance for it by leaving the knife by her bed. Constance, you are to be executed for killing my wife. But he did it! She did it! Well, I shall settle this once and for all. Having just converted to Christianity, I will have each of you swear upon the Bible that you did not do it, and then deem who is the truthful one. So the knight went first, and placed his hand upon the Bible, and swore that he did not do it. And his eyes exploded. Wait, what? Ew! I think I'm going to be sick. Hey, Constance, since that guy's obviously guilty and about to be executed, and, you're innocent and all, my wife's dead, wanna marry me? Okay. And so the blessed union was formed, and they later conceived a son, Mauritius, who was born when his father was off at the war in Scotland. Allah sent back a letter to Constance, telling her of his love, but Allah's mother, vengeful and hateful of their union, intercepted. I disapprove of this union between my son and this Constance girl. Never liked her. I know what I shall do. I shall intercept this letter, and tell her that she's being banished, and that she must flee the country or else with her son. And so Constance, having read the letter, took her son and went on a boat, fleeing the country and sailing lost through the ocean for years. Wait a minute, didn't this already happen? I swear to God, if you interrupt this story one more time, I am cutting you from the story! Are we okay then? Now, as I was saying, Constance, with her son, fled the country, sailing aimlessly across the ocean for years. It's been 5 years! When is this freaking baby ever gonna grow up? Eventually, Constance made her way back to Rome. Oh, mother, father, even though you made my life a living hell for 10 years now, I forgive you. And, after hearing what happened to his wife, Allah slayed his mother in vengeance. But then, being a good, recently converted Christian, decided that it was best to renew his faith and make a pilgrimage to Rome. Well, I'm in Rome. Pretty cool. Wait, Constance? Allah? And, well, you can guess what happened next. They got back together, and their son, Mauritius, eventually became Emperor of Rome after his father died after, a year. Constance didn't have a great life, I must admit. But the moral of this story is that if you are a truly good Christian, God will spare you from death, even in the most dire of situations. And love conquers all. Thank you, man of the law. Interesting story there. Well, the Man of the Law's tale holds a lot of anti-Muslim sentiments, as you can guess, and a lot of anti-pagan sentiments, and a lot of anti-mother-in-law sentiments. Really, he's just kind of a negative guy. I don't really understand why Constance kept her faith so long, but it seems that it did her good in the end. Although personally, after the 5 years in a boat thing, I would have totally lost it. Well, that's all for our first episode of Rachel's Reenactments. See you soon!